Okay, I put the phone down. I'm sorry.
That is alright. So, the most important news, the first. Do we know the results about your son test? How did it go?
Oh no, he has to take the second one first.
Oh,
I looked online. They don't post them. They don't grade them for like a while because they have to send them out to grade them. So yeah.
okay.
I mean, even if he does like exceedingly well, it's not like really gonna get me out of my problems, is it? I keep thinking like that, but it just couldn't hurt my image.
I'm extremely happy that this heavy weight of test and the stress is over now.
Isn't it? I don't think the stress is over.
About the test, I mean. The stress about the test.
Well, I don't know. At some point, I just decided to stop stressing about it because I realized, that like the effect that it's gonna have on my general life is not like as major as it needs to be to alleviate everything.
I'm glad that you can be more self-aware and make this decision. As you said, decide not to be stressed. That's a big deal. In therapy, when people are self-aware and train this awareness, that's a big deal.
Okay. I guess.
And thinking of this.
I don't think so, though. No, I wanted like a comeback to that because I just thought that was like one of those vapid phrases that people in your profession throw around because I really actually don't think being self-aware is like half the problem. Like Captain, I forgot it was Captain Planet or something. There was like an old cartoon they used to say, and now we know, and knowing is half the battle. That's what they said. It was Captain Planet, I think. It was like one of my favorite cartoons.
I know that too. But let me ask you this: how would you measure the progress? I know you've been in therapy for quite a bit, so how would you measure your progress if we take Ilona from, I don't know, a couple of years ago, or like 5 years ago? And today, how would you measure your progress?
I feel worse because my body's worn. So whatever issues I was dealing with then, like I'm more tired of dealing with.
If we will talk about the mental state, like inner dialogue, how did you talk to yourself previously, and how do you support yourself now?
I will admit that it was more hectic for me and a lot more was on the line for me because I had a small child, and if you do something wrong with like a newborn, they could potentially die, so it was a lot more stressful like that because my child is like a kid now and not a baby. So I was always like doing stuff, and it was like a do or die situation with like food and milk and everything like that. So I will admit that was more stressful maybe emotionally, but I also, like you were talking about progress, get a load of this. You might, I don't know, I'm actually curious what you're gonna have to say after I tell you the truth of the matter. Far as my feelings are towards other people, like my expectations fell so low, so I don't even know what to say about this. The police.
Okay, explain this more to me. Expectations low, do we take it as a negative thing or as a positive thing? Does it mean that you've been more realistic and previously you were hoping for something else or something different? Like, tell me more about it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm involved in like something bigger than myself with my problems, you know? And I mean, I wasn't raised to be very like full of myself, so you know, like I wouldn't think, you know, all these like people need to be involved with me or whatnot, but just the fact that there's things that I told the police and it's been years and I almost get the feeling from them that they believe me, but they just did nothing about it. It made me, I mean, the past couple of years I have, like I don't even want to say it's more of an adult view on life, because it's not, because a lot of adults, they keep wandering in their own delusions. It's, is it a more realistic view? I think so, you know, and I feel kind of like cursed with it and blessed with it, that I see how fucking lame some of these law enforcement agents are, and I just, you know, I see how little actually the government would be concerned for like a citizen that didn't mean much to them. If it wasn't like a solid case, it wasn't like solid like public, you know, evidence of some disturbance. So, you know, because they really don't give a shit. Like honestly,
this is a thing, but there is also a certain level of liberation in it, isn't it?
Well, what liberation? I feel like that's stuff that like I was never at odds with like laws, you know? I was at odds, like what liberation would I get from finding out that the police is not here to protect me? You know? I'm sorry, you made me laugh so hard. I haven't laughed about this in a while.
I like the fact that you're laughing, because when we started and you weren't the same level concerned about the situation, but maybe there were hopes that the situation could be changed and that people will take a look at the situation. And now when we're realizing that there is this word in Russian, I don't know how to translate it, произвол.
Как?
Произвол. Оставить на произвол.
На произвол, вот именно, но...
That's how it feels. So,
а потом кто-то к тебе придет и скажет, что ты забалбес, блин, и лентяй, что ты оставил все на произвол, когда...
They're not gonna come and say it because they are the one who left it like this. You were knocking at their doors for so long and they just left it as is.
Yeah, but this is the other part of it that I realize as an adult, is that just because they don't care doesn't mean that I won't. You know, just because something's not provided for you, like some standard security, or, you know, like how about food, how about that, doesn't mean that you don't need it or you don't want it, you know. And a lot of stuff like that is like, you know, purely like emotional, and, you know, it's, you could talk about it, but you won't, you know, it's like, I feel like if I was to tell my story to like some average woman, like some, like, and she would believe me, she would go crazy for me, you know. But the problem is, a lot of these like people that I just meet, they don't right away believe me, and then the people that do believe me, they're so jaded by like the way society is, like, and New York is, you know, like they're just like, oh, crime happens, and you know, so what, your kid didn't eat well, some kids didn't eat at all, or something like that. So it's like all on me to kind of, you know, try my damnedest to do my best for me and my son. And you know, everything else is, как ты говоришь, на произвол. But I know like how to translate this word. It's like development, right? That's what you meant. So what's the development, you know?
The development, see how you're therapist. My development here would be to see how you see yourself. And I see this as a position of strength, meaning you keeping yourself accountable and you trying to do what's in your power. And you moving on, basically.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I told you, like, I feel like this is like nothing I could do, so I haven't been.
Exactly. And you just gotta move on with this and see what are the plans for life. What do you want to do next? If they are not responding, what would be your next step to make your life better?
I don't know, because these people, because I know that that's what it is. You know, I have enough bravery to say this. I know it's FBI, and I couldn't prove to the FBI that they're FBI. It's because they find me worthless. You know, that's what it comes down to. Because how do you prove to, like, the FBI that they're FBI? Exactly. That means that they think less of you, that they could disrespect you and, you know, disservice you like this. And there's a lot of them too. So I'm not gonna, like, direct it at any one person. But again, it's like, it is a relief. I like that you said that, because it's almost comical. Like, how much I used to care, you know, like, about people. And then I just, every year of my life I get older, I realize how naive that is. You know, because I feel like the government that's set up, that's supposed to care about, you know, situations and people, it's not, like, doing a good job either.
It may not completely. Also giving the information what's going on in the world right now and how everybody focused on something else. We basically left it alone with our needs sometimes. That's how it feels to me, at least.
Basically, but it's a little bit different, you know, with my situation, because it just is. I really didn't know what else to add about this. This is either, like, you have some sort of understanding of what's going on, or you don't. So I almost don't even want to feel like talking about it. I was about to talk to you about, like, the usual stress, which is like, I was trying to, like, recertify my Access HRA, and they told me that, like, everything was fine, and then I go on the website and it's telling me that I didn't recertify yet, so now I have to wait till the 30th. And I added documents to that too, to see if I recertified or not, and that would be, like, basically my meals that it rides on. And I don't know, you know, if it's something I did or it's something that's wrong with the website, you know.
How many times did you try to log in?
I logged in. It just won't update to say that I already conducted my interview and I already gave them my documents and everything like that. So,
did you ever have a case manager assigned, or do you have one yourself?
I have a case manager, but they basically assign you a new one. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Have you been in contact with this person so they can
No,
address this?
because like, almost every year the turnover is, like, uncanny at the welfare office, and you know, they'll have a new person assigned to my case. Like, I don't know. So they usually don't keep the same person on your case, and they're less than helpful also. But it's fairly easy to get welfare. It's just sometimes, you know, it's either human error or, like, what do you even consider this one? Like, the website didn't update. It's also, like, you know, somebody didn't get paid to update the website or whatnot. So I was just thinking about that too, that after all these years I've, like, loosened up, because I used to have this, like, childish attitude that if I'm you know, like, always on time and you know, like, I'm attended, and, you know, I try my best that everybody else will, but that's simply not true. Oh, I'll be out in, like, a couple of minutes.
It is wonderful for you to keep yourself accountable for that stuff, Ilona, honestly. With all what's going on, to keep this in mind, to keep all of this stuff on track and tackle the tasks, that's big. I don't know if you realize it, but you're doing a great job here.
Well, thank you. I feel like, like I have to maintain something, but I'm mad and I don't know who to get mad at, because,
You mad at the situation?
I'm mad, yeah. I'm mad at the situation. And I can't wait for it to get resolved. I've reserved myself to not have any outbursts, but that's about it. And try to direct my energies more effectively, like try to approach people that I feel would have more to give. But that's about all I can do,
When you're redirecting your energy, where do you direct it?
I try to approach new police officers with it because I don't know. Because then if anything ever happens to me, in the least, those people could get together and just say, hey, ridiculous. We knew this person was alive, we had a sense of what was going on.
I think
Or
it's
my
important-
kid for that matter, actually,
I would suggest keep practicing this redirection and use positive self-talk, because maybe you need more support. I don't know. I hope your son sometimes is able to say thank you, Mom, but also given the fact that he's still a teenager.
He's not a teenager, he's a little boy. He's only 9.
9. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. I thought that he is 12. My bad.
No, he's 9.
He is still learning, that he's still growing, then definitely there is less self-reflection than we have as adults. And you need to provide yourself sometimes this, space to be angry. If you're angry, be angry.
I don't know how to direct it, I don't know how to direct it to get something done. And then I feel like, oh my God, this is like beyond some bullshit, So, I don't know. Again, it is a lot I don't know. And
Do you think you have more free time now to do something and put it somewhere out there? Maybe even to go for a stroll, like a 45-minute intense.
how would that help me though? With
Well, with this, there were multiple researchers proving that physical activity, as minimum as just walking, is giving you and your body, first of all, your body's warming up, so the energy is coming out physically. Secondly, your mind gets clearer because you will have more positive, not toxic, not negative emotions, but positive, like oxytocin and dopamine. The chemicals in your brain will be more in terms of how to solve the problem, how to change my attitude, what do I like and don't like about the situation. So your brain is kind of solving it in itself.
true, but I feel like, it's not really gonna resolve it in the long run because you're that's the thing, like you're a therapist, so you try to what's the word for it, like organize lifestyle like that, and say, okay, well, if we have a positive lifestyle, then our life will be good. But simply in reality, that's not the case. In reality, people actually don't like healthy people, because healthy people, they have healthy demands. They want more money, they want a family, they want a career that's meaningful, and they're a lot harder to please. So people actually don't like healthy people. And in reality, again, you want to say stuff like, you have to do the best thing ever or whatever, but sometimes people compromise themselves unhealthfully, and overall it seems like they have a more balanced lifestyle because of this. If they compromise, they live with somebody they don't like or something else like that. I feel like, but yeah, it would feel great though to feel healthy, And I see that.
Yeah.
And when I do feel good, I do feel good, and I'm so happy. And you know, because sometimes when you feel bad though, and this is when I would have gotten angry if somebody told me that, like, we'll take a walk or something, is that it's like totally outside of your control or something. Like if you pick up a virus or something and you just feel bad,
Exactly.
it makes you the worst.
This is outside of your control, but what's in your control is how can you make yourself feel better. And as you said, as a therapist, I'm offering multiple options, and I will be your king that you can lean on and be like, Anna, I have no desire of going out today. But look, if we take this as a systematic approach and maybe make it a social experiment, walks every day, a month of walks. When it becomes your habit, you will be like, I really can only focus on my walk. I heard those comments before. People will be like, I really need my gym time. I need to go on this treadmill just to clear my mind. I had this client, they've been fighting with their partner, and they could only be all right while exercising. I had multiple women clients that would feel better when they're cleaning the house. Weird enough, seriously, they would do like a deep cleaning thing every month, and this will just organizing the house and organizing thoughts. This is not me as a therapist saying, I'm
No, I understand what you're saying. I don't mean to be like ungrateful for, you know, your therapeutic suggestions.
If you're down to it, we can try.
I just feel like, you know, it's like almost like a temporary feeling. But I feel like all mental health, so again, this is how we all get off, is just endless discussions, is really what works, right? You know?
I would see it differently. I would try to do as much and offer you as many ways of how to cope or how to make you feel more.
But I just feel like what I'm trying to tell you is like I feel like I'm dealing with this like stupid situation that the police needs to deal with the people that are harassing me. And that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. See, I give you like this laugh every time I say this because I'm so nervous like saying this. You know?
I understand it.
But I really don't know what else to say because like I have my moments and I do get bummed out and stuff like this, but I know that like I could deal with everything else if only they would deal with that, you know, because this is real and there's so much nuance to it that like they would just like once they assume I'm being like stalked, harassed or whatever, once anybody assumes somebody is being, especially by an agency, which never happens. They never just, you know, actually say, oh, well, this person was being harassed by us, do they? Like, and it comes out in the media in some way. But once, you know, they you know, assume that this is the issue, then they'll understand that world of, like, draining, like, emotion that comes with that scenario. Because it's, can you imagine not having, like, privacy to like make your own plans to have a life? Because you know we by nature are always in disagreement with each other because we have egos, and we, again, like back to this situation, always healthy people want money, sex, whatever, and we're all in competition with each other, especially strangers. That's fine, you know, that's normal. So why should these fucking strangers have anything on me, you know?
Well, that's a good question, and here we will need to probably go back to it and address it properly and have a whole session talking about hierarchy of needs and why would certain people jump over instead of providing for themselves.
So do you believe there's a hierarchy of needs? Again, because I was trying to say, like, you do like organize, you know, things like that. You know, life is messy, but obviously somebody's seeing a therapist, they want somebody, you know, to tell them what to do. So, like, say, like, you have a need that's very pertinent to you and it's not being met, but there's, like, no way for you to meet it, you know? So, what level of, you know, emotional disturbance should you allow yourself to have about this need not being met? Once you acknowledge it, there's nothing I could do. You know? Should I constantly be distracting myself, you know? And, you know, especially if I realize that, you know, most of the plans that I can make for myself will be moved. Like if I want to move from here, or if I want to have like a real career or a real relationship, I couldn't do that, you know, because I want my life to be private.
And that's where I would jump in, because my approach, my idea would be to empower you. We cannot control the police. I know it causes you a lot of distress, and you probably noticed that I'm trying to redirect you to a different area just because we've been talking about it. But even though we talk about it and giving it space to acknowledge it, to accept it, and be mad about it, there is nothing you and I can do. You did the best you could, and they still not responding. So instead of stressing about it, because I physically can't control them, all I can do, I'm your therapist. I can listen to you, I can give you the space and give you this validation and be like, Ilona, it's valid. You have the right to be mad for them not responding. And also, you can't stop and pause your life. You've been doing amazingly great. You've been prepping yourself to the test. You've been maintaining your routines.
I feel like that way too. Like you keep saying that, and it kind of puts me at odds because it seems like one of those things that people like rehearse saying to like kids with self-esteem or something. Like you've been doing great. I feel that like I don't really have self-esteem issues, but I have been doing excellent, awesome at maintaining, at surviving, at basically like keeping myself and my son from like dying or ending up in a hospital or something like that. I've been doing a good job of that, but that's not living. And I heard my friend say it to me. And, you know, he doesn't have like a great life either. He doesn't have a lot of money or anything like that. He said something to the effect of, but life is meant for living. And he said it in Russian too. It's like, жизнь чтобы жить, а не чтобы выживать. You know? Yeah, so that's how I feel, you know. And also, my son is like getting bigger. He should, you know, not have to deal with any of this. Whereas I could shelter him from this before, I don't think I can anymore. I think it's all going to blow up and maybe then resolve. Unless it somehow resolves itself, because I don't know.
What? That's actually, this is something I would want to talk more about. How would you want to shelter, as you said, or protect yourself from the realities of this world? And as we are running out of time for today, would you mind to start from this next week?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah?
Okay.
Because that's an important question, and I don't want to just jam it. Just because I think it's worthy of a good conversation.
Alright. So,
Alright.
I'll talk to you next week. Okay.
Yes.
Take care.
Next week. Have a good week.
You too. Take care.